Coming up here on the Niners Report, Kyle Shanahan and Brock Purdy talk about that Deebo Samuel tweet. Was he right in saying he's not getting enough touches? He's not getting the football. Let's hear from the head coach and the quarterback because they're two very important pieces of this Niners offense. I'm also going to explain, pertaining to Deebo, how San Francisco can't afford to make this mistake going up against the Rams. And then lastly, I'm thinking about the offseason here, looking ahead for this football team. There's a player who is irreplaceable on the defensive side of the football who the Niners need to bring back in NFL free agency. Let's begin with Deebo Samuel. In case you didn't know, on December 9th, earlier this week, he tweeted out, "I'm not struggling at all. I'm just not getting the ball." What's funny about this tweet, it was community noted on X. Deebo then deleted it, and it was community noted because the community notes read, Deebo Samuel leads the 49ers in drops. He is struggling this year. Then Deebo, on Tuesday in the locker room, the media contingent gathered around him, and he reacted to all of this. And he doubled down. He said, "You read what you read. I'm not getting the ball enough." He didn't really expand on that, but I'll expand on what I think of this. What I didn't like about that Deebo tweet, the Niners on Sunday played their most complete game of the season. San Francisco finally found an identity. They got some good vibes flowing for the first time in a long time. They snapped their 3-game losing streak. The offense against a top 10 overall defense in Chicago dropped 38 points. The Niners haven't had good vibes in a long time. Players have even said it. It's pretty much a season from hell. But now the Niners have some good vibes about them. They're believing that they could potentially make the playoffs, playing with hunger and desperation. And so coming off a huge win, Deebo Samuel is all about me, me, me. It was a selfish tweet from Deebo, and that is not how a team captain acts. Yeah, we won, but I need the ball more. The offense looked great with you pretty much doing nothing outside of a long 20-plus yard catch. Are you kidding me? And Deebo this year is getting plenty of touches. The numbers on the eye test haven't lied to us. His yards of separation are down. His yards after the catch are down. His tackle-breaking numbers are down. His yards per game from scrimmage are down. His receiving yards per game are down. All of the numbers for Deebo have decreased, and he's looked slow. His body language has not been up to snuff. And Deebo doesn't think he's getting enough touches. Ladies and gentlemen, our eyes don't lie. The numbers don't lie. Either do these numbers. Deebo's on pace for 100 touches. That would be Deebo's most since 2021 when he was an All-Pro. And what bothers me about this, Brandon Ayuk has been out for several weeks. Christian McCaffrey missed much of the season. He's now out for the rest of the year. And Deebo Samuel has not stepped up. It was kind of clueless for Deebo to say that. Read the room a little bit. As for what Kyle Shanahan had to say about Deebo, of course the head coach is going to have his guys back. Deebo and I talk every day. I understand Deebo saying that. The only way he helps us is by getting the ball more. We'd like to get it to him more, and we'll continue to work at that. We'd always love things to stay in-house. I'm sure I'd get worked up, too, if I was reading stuff about myself all the time. Is it a distraction in our building? No. It's the first time I've talked about it right here. Deebo and I see each other every day, talk about stuff every day. My advice is to not let the outside noise frustrate you. Just answering those things isn't going to help you in any way. It usually hurts you. But as far as what we deal with in our relationship and our team, it's water under the bridge. Kyle Shanahan also said that while he sees where he's coming from, he wishes Deebo kind of kept that in-house. And Deebo's always been one of Kyle's guys. It's easy to see why the head coach would have his players back. I always believe that the head coach should have his players back as long as it's justified. Here's what the quarterback had to say about Deebo's tweet. Purdy, Deebo and I talk all the time, and he's like one of my best friends on this team. I absolutely love Deebo and what he's done for me and helping me out. We talk all the time, and I think he's right. He's doing great right now. What we ask of him in the offense, and he's not struggling or anything. It's just like I said before about guys like Ricky Pearsall, or last year with Ayuk for a little bit. There's just moments, I guess, throughout seasons where guys just don't get the ball, just depending on the scheme or what the defensive scheme is, them taking guys away. So I want Deebo to get the ball every play, and I'd do that if I could. I want to have him break all the records as best as possible. I want Deebo to do Deebo things. We all do in this building. So it's just how the games have gone, but I love my guy, and I'm going to do everything I can to get him the ball. John Lynch echoing something similar to Brock Purdy and Kyle Shanahan, saying, Deebo's made a lot of plays for us over the years. I think it's a little bit unfair how people are piling onto him. But when you're a team captain, when you're paid that much, you are held to a different standard, especially when you have been a special player in your career, and especially considering that McCaffrey and Ayuk have been out, yet Deebo hasn't been able to step up. As for what the Niners cannot do, and this is for Kyle Shanahan, this is for Brock Purdy against the Rams on Thursday night. Shanahan and Purdy can't try to appease Deebo. They can't overly commit to his needs. They can't overcompensate and try to force him the football, because if they do that, that's a negative for your offense. It is not maximizing your offense if you're doing everything in your power just to make Deebo happy. He has to be effective with his touches. And Kyle Shanahan has given him ample opportunities to make plays. Routes downfield, crossers, long balls, bubble screens, jet sweeps, handoffs, direct pitches. Kyle Shanahan's drawn up all these plays. They've had him back there as a kick returner. And so they're giving him opportunities, but Deebo isn't making the most of those opportunities. He's lacked a little bit of speed. He's lacked a little bit of elusiveness. He's lacked that dynamic, tackle-breaking, I'm going to take your will, run over you, and take it to the crib type of skill set that he's had in years prior. And so if you force him the ball, you are then taking away opportunities from players who you should be running your pass game through. And that is George Kittle, and that is Juwan Jennings. George Kittle is the best overall receiver on this team. As far as being a receiver threat, he's so dynamic before and after the catch as a blocker. And Juwan Jennings is the best wide receiver on this team. And those are the players that the pass game should go through. And those are the players that Brock Purdy has the best connection with. And so I think that the Niners should stop running Deebo. He's averaging 2.9 yards per carry. And they should target him a little bit because, yeah, he still has the ability to be a dynamic special player. But don't overcompensate and force feed him the football, because in that game against the Bears, what was refreshing from Kyle Shanahan? Christian McCaffrey didn't play. So Shanahan didn't rely on McCaffrey just to be special. Instead, Shanahan was special as a coach. Play designs, misdirection, being aggressive, doing some things as far as applying wrinkles to this offense. And it resulted in the best offensive performance for this football team from start to finish this year. Lastly, here on the show, tweeted this out this week, and I want to double down on this, because upon looking at the tape and hearing what some players have said, this is the right move in my estimation. A player who the 49ers need to retain this offseason is safety Talanoa Hufanga, who is set to be an unrestricted free agent. Does he struggle in coverage sometimes? Yes. Do the Niners hide him in coverage at times? Yes. But Talanoa Hufanga has a plethora of skills which make him very, very special that you can't coach or teach. Talanoa Hufanga has great feel. Hufanga has great instincts. He has a knack for making game-changing plays on the defensive side of the football. I also like his versatility. You can use him as a blitzer, hybrid linebacker, a little bit too slow for the slot, but he can be there a little bit, especially on those corner blitzes, and as a safety on the back end. And because of the feel, the instincts, just having a feel for where the ball is, Talanoa Hufanga is always around the ball, and he's making game-changing, game-wrecking plays. He's also extremely smart and intelligent, and he's an awesome leader. And even though in the pre-draft process a few years ago coming out of USC, he didn't time or test fast, he plays the game fast. That is what you call game speed as compared to combine speed. He flies around, and he plays like his hair is on fire with physicality. He's done this every year that he's been available, healthy, and on the field. And this is a big reason why the man was a first-team All-Pro back in 2022. And so the last 2 years when he has not been on the field, this 49ers defense has really missed him. He brings you captain-like leadership and then the ability to make plays all over the yard. And when you take him away, the opposing offense doesn't fear this Niners defense as much, and they don't generate as many turnovers. So this is a leader who, if he can continue to stay healthy, torn ACL last year, came off that injury, hurt his ankle, tore ligaments in his wrist, he can be a key figure of this defense for years to come. And you have to start ushering in this next era, right, on this Niners team. Kyle Shanahan had Brock Purdy and Diamador Lenore address the team last Saturday. It's pretty telling. He's looking at those two young players as the next iteration of leaders for this football team. And defensively, you locked up Diamador Lenore. Might be wise to lock up Talanoa Hufanga as well, because you know every single Sunday those players are going to bring it. So do the Niners need to re-sign Talanoa Hufanga? Let me know what you think down in the comment section. S for sign, W for walk. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to hit that sub button right now.